Alright, so this is a CX500 engine taken apart. And what I'm doing is I'm taking out the timing chain. I've marked, or I've set it to top dead center, and I've marked the top of this and just the center line of these. These two bolts should be parallel. Now what happens with these when you take out the guides is, and when you take off the chain, it will move slightly, which is fairly disconcerting for anybody working on this motorcycle when it happens. So these two bolts are 10 millimeter. They're not torqued very tight. I don't know what the specification is, but these seem kind of loose. Well, this one was. As soon as this comes off, I think you'll notice it moves slightly. Might be hard to see from the angle, but right in here.
Should I?
No, you're right. As soon as this one comes out, because it's under a bit of tension, it will move, and you can just hear it click. So I've taken this out, and you'll be able to see that when I take the chain off, that moved. Now, if you know anything about engines, which you should since you're doing this particular project, you know that this moving without that moving is the worst thing that could ever happen to any engine, because it will be the timing will be completely off, and it will smash itself in all kinds of pieces if you try to put it together, even if it's one tooth wrong. So you got to have the teeth absolutely right. Now, this is actually a new chain. I've taken this off so I could do the video after I put it back on. So pretend I've taken this old chain, an old chain off, put a new one on. Now what I want to do, and this is how you solve it. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. And not to worry, everything will be okay. So what I do is I put this back exactly where it was. Now I've found you have to do this bottom part first. So I'll line this up and I'll put that on. Now that looks lined up. If it was one tooth off, and I'll show you what wrong looks like, just one link over, you'll see my line. I don't know if you can see them actually. My lines are completely wrong. It's the next tooth over. It's obviously wrong. So if it looks like it's right, it's right. If it was wrong, it would look very wrong. So this is exactly where I want it to be. Now what you can do is take a hold this up. Hopefully it won't move. Take a 17 millimeter bolt and go to the back where the cam crank is. And what you can do is, now that the timing chain is set correctly, at least for the sprockets, even though it's not in place, then all you have to do is put this back over here in this little port where the cam crank is, and then turn it. Now notice this will turn. I'm just going to hold it slightly, and I'm going to turn it until these things line up. And you notice that it's not moving. Rather, this back piece isn't moving, which is good. Only the crankshaft is moving. I think I might have called it cam. I meant crank. Where this is the cam. The cam isn't moving. The crank is, which is good because now my bolts are lined up. So all I have to do is put the holes are lined up, and put the bolts back in. This is brought to you from Mesa, Arizona, where it is 120 today. Alright, so those are in, and if I want, I could tighten them here. I'll just tighten them superficially and do the correct torquing later, just to make sure they're a little snug. And then all I have to do is go back to that crank port, and to go back to top dead center, I just reverse the socket wrench and turn it.
Dang. Just clean my road.
And there you have it. It's all set back to top dead center, same as we had it before.